Okay, well, as people are signing on, we'll go ahead and get started. So hello, everyone, and thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. My name is Lindsay McLean. I'm your contact out on the West Coast in San Diego for the Calliope Collective. And today we are going to be highlighting four of our hotels within the collection that have a great emphasis on culinary and some exciting food and beverage options to be able to share with you. So before we jump into the presentation, just a few housekeeping notes. So you do have that chat function. So if you like what the presenters are saying or you want to talk amongst yourselves, feel free to participate by putting your comments in there. Also, if you do have questions that pop up throughout the presentation, there is a Q&A spot as well. So go ahead and pop those questions in there, and then we'll go ahead and save those to the very end of the webinar and address them for each hotel. And you are all on mute, but like I said, if you want to go ahead and engage with us, feel free to speak on that chat function there. Okay, so for those of you that may be a little bit new to Calliope Collective, you may be wondering what exactly does that word mean? It actually literally means beautiful voice in Greek, and was the ancient muse who presided over eloquence, poetry, and the finer things in life, as well as is representative for the Calliope hummingbird, which is one of the smallest birds in the world and travels thousands of miles between their summer and winter nesting grounds. So these two symbols we really loved to represent, some of our independent hotels that have to work maybe a little bit harder to get the word out, but they have some beautiful things to be able to offer. So for today, we will be featuring four hotels. First, we'll be joined by the Hermitage Hotel in Nashville. Then we'll be hopping over to the Laurel Hotel and Spa in Auburn, Alabama. Then over to Europe and with Casa de Langa in Piemonte, Italy, as well as Pink Sands in Harbor Island. So to kick us off, we have Taylor Masterson. She is the Associate Director of Sales at the Hermitage Hotel. So Taylor, I'll let you take it from here.
Hi, wonderful. Thank you. And thank you everyone for being here. I'm excited to be able to showcase the property and everything that, we have to offer, and especially our wonderful culinary experiences here on property. So we are the Hermitage Hotel. We're located in Nashville, Tennessee. Just a little overview of the hotel itself. So we were here since 1910. We are the original, standard bearer for luxury here in the Nashville area. We're set in the heart of downtown Nashville. We were the city's original $1 million property, the first five-star, five-diamond property, and just home to a really rich history that's deeply rooted in the region. We're also now happy to say we are a cherished national landmark as well. And we've really redefined Southern hospitality since 1910, featuring 122 luxurious guest rooms and suites and our distinctive Beaux Art architecture. The Hermitage Hotel, of course, along with our National Historical Landmark status now, we are committed to the preservation of the local heritage and are members of the Land Trust. So that is something we are a part of, and that'll kind of feed into our experience for culinary as well. But what you see here, this is our lobby area. So our grand lobby is iconic within the Nashville area and really everywhere. But we have a magnificent painted glass skylight. The whole lobby is filled with Tennessee and Italian marble that was original from 1910. And then all of the furniture. So we did go through a renovation, actually completing that up last year, but it was all designed, for our property and imported from the finest craftsmanship in Europe. It was the lobby itself was designed in the early 20th century, and it really transports guests to back to a different time, but also giving them a glimpse of the Nashville old days, but transforming them to new luxury today as well. I'm sure you'll know, with the Nashville, the market and the new properties, this is really a refresh for people to actually come in and, get to see both old and new here in our property. And as you can see, this is our lobby with the front desk, and we do hold many large gatherings as well as smaller gatherings, and really just inviting to everyday transient luxury guests too. So we do have just a quick overview of our meeting spaces. We have three or four meeting spaces, our largest being our grand ballroom, which you can see here in the lobby. And then our veranda, which I'll showcase a little bit later, and all the architecture in that space. As far as our guest room accommodations, so we do have our deluxe rooms is our starting package, and they boast 500 square feet, which is some of the largest in the Nashville area. And we do really want to introduce, an elevated residential feel to those. We just a little bit about what we offer in those. We have, our Molten Brown products, our pillow menus, our 24-hour room service, turn down service, and we really want to enhance that 5-star ambiance here. So we have our Hermitage suite, which is our largest suite as well. So it's 2,000 square feet. It has a separate bedroom with the formal living area, the butler pantry, full dining table, luxurious bathrooms, and all of our spaces have, the separate soaking tub as well as the walk-in shower. So that's something that we really love having in this market itself. We do have 4 other room types, from studio suites to parlor suites, but again, our deluxe rooms themselves being 500 square feet or larger. We do boast beautiful views of the Capitol, which is one of our favorite things to talk about, as well as views of downtown. And it really does make the location of our property special, just because we are close to the Capitol and close to downtown, but not too close to where you're getting all that loud noise from the city. You can really have that luxurious experience. What you're seeing here is just some items from our banquet offerings that we have for our meeting spaces as well. So a little bit about Druzy and Dar. So Druzy and Dar really is our high point and centerpiece of the multi-year project that we had. The restaurant and bar from our internationally celebrated chef, John George, who I'm sure some of you have heard of, but he does oversee the direction of all of our culinary aspects of the hotel. He's really admired for his acumen as a chef and businessman. He operates over 40 restaurants around the globe, including another recently opened restaurant from our sister property, Keswick Hall in Charlottesville, Virginia. John George actually selected the Hermitage Hotel for its first location in the South, which we were very proud to say. And he really envisioned a lively contemporary restaurant and bar that showcases the abundance of the Tennessee regional produce, some of which we actually source locally. We have our own farm here. So the menu is inspired by the seasons and Tennessee's culinary heritage, and it really welcomes guests and neighbors. Locals for cocktails, sophisticated evenings out, a glass of wine and pizza just before the show. We're located right next to TPAC, which is fantastic for our space. So just a little bit about Druzy and Dar, the name, it comes, it's very special to us because it comes from our old general manager he was in the 1950s and 1960s, and they were actually his children. Those are the name of his children, and they were always running around the hotel and had a really lively feel about them. And so we really wanted to showcase them in our name. And then a little bit about the design for Druzy and Dar. Jewel Hansen was our designer, and really drew on those simple palettes and natural materials, the metal, wood, leather, and stone, complemented by the dramatic lighting that we got made just for this property. And the arch ceilings really makes it feel lively and large and inviting all at the same time. All of our furnishings, from the mother of pearl pendant lamps to the seating to the tables and the curved banquettes, they were entirely bespoke to Druzy and Dar. So that's one thing that we love to boast about this property and this restaurant as well. And we did just receive our Michelin 2 keys. So we're really happy to announce that for this space as well. So not only do you see John George here in the Jersey and Dar area, he also helped put together our Pink Hermit restaurant, or excuse me, well, it is a restaurant. It's another outlet, but it's more for our pastries and light bites, and we really like to call it our pre-theater champagne area. Um, so the Pink Hermit is a chic cafe and takeaway that was conceived by John George and the hotel team, but was also designed by Jewel Hansen. Its name's derived uh, from the definition of hermitage as secluded retreat, as an intimate space clad, and you'll see it's pale pink and gray marble. We really just wanted to welcome guests with cozy seating, both indoor, and we also have outdoor seating in this space, which is fantastic. So it actually transitions and evolves throughout the day. It's a coffee bar serving pastries in the morning and then casual takeaway for lunch. And later we serve it as small bites, wine, and now have a twist of Italian in there as well. So it's absolutely phenomenal for pre and post theater gatherings as well as social groups. And then last, we love to showcase probably one of my favorite traditions here at the property is our afternoon tea, spill and tea with Draper James. This is offered now all year long because it has become so popular. And it's inspired by Reese Witherspoon and her family recipes, the Draper James team, which created lovely table linens and prints and really encased our hotel in legendary traditions. The one tradition I like to talk about the most, because we have so many, is that back during Prohibition, we actually served whiskey in a teacup. And it kind of paired along perfectly with her new book that she put out, Whiskey in a Teacup. And then our chef, our wonderful chef here, Richard Hutton, has come up with some luscious treats along with our pastry team that go along with the Spill and Tea book that Reese Witherspoon put together. So the space that you're seeing here now is our veranda, and that's where we are most popular to have our tea. But now we are so delighted to say we're having so much success. We actually do a nutcracker tea now for a month long, and we are completely sold out, but it's one of our favorite experiences where we have some of the Nashville Ballet come in some nights and different fun experiences for guests. So those are a few different food and beverage things that we have going on here on property and experiences that you can enjoy here at the Hermitage Hotel.
Awesome. Thank you, Taylor. All right, we're going to hop over to Auburn, Alabama, and we are joined by Todd Scholl, who is the managing partner for sales and marketing. So take it away, Todd.
Thank you, Taylor. And that was an amazing presentation on the Hermitage. You can go ahead and advance there you go. So speaking of culinary, because this call has a little culinary bent to it, the actual name of our hotel and spa, the Laurel, is inspired by a bay leaf. The laurel plant is a type of bay leaf, and it's used in cooking. And it also has a dual meaning. It also recognizes achievement, academic achievement. So the wreath that you see around the L, that would be something you'd see on scholars back in the day. So that is the Laurel, and it's here in Auburn, Alabama. It is in an academic building, so every part of the Laurel is actually a teaching lab for the Horst Schulze School of Hospitality Management. So it's an amazing place to go and experience ultra-luxury hotels and culinary exploits in a beautiful college setting. Very, very beautiful urban retreat. We are the first 5-diamond hotel in the state of Alabama. It was the very first preferred hotel in the LVX collection, the very first preferred hotel in Alabama. And we will hopefully we'll be coming out, and we'll find out next year about our Forbes recommended status. We are only an hour and a half from Atlanta International, and for those of you that with clients that have their own jets with Auburn University and football here, we have a very nice FBO just 2 miles from the hotel, so it's very easy in and out. And just a great getaway for a weekend staycation. We have all the sports. If you have a sports fan, this is a great place to come, including Neville Arena. The toilet paper you see there, that is Toomer's Corner. For those of you that don't know, when we win sports here, big games, we like to take toilet paper and throw it over the trees at the Toomer's Corner. And it's a story for another time that I can tell you when you come in on a site visit. Some beautiful things to do while you're in town, in between all the eating that you're going to do at property. We have a beautiful performing arts center that there's just an amazing holiday playlist that's happening right now. Jewel Collins Smith Museum of Fine Art right across the street from that, and both of those are just a mile and a half from the hotel. And then if you're an outdoorsy person, you can go take your mountain bike to Chihuahua, but we do have e-bikes on property as well. This is just a little picture of the jump lobby as you arrive. Our guest experience experts will greet you at your car and whisk you on a tour of the property if you've never been there before. That room that you're looking at, the library, that is your main living room in the hotel. So when you're not in your guest room, that's where you'll participate in board games and just hanging out with your fellow guests, as well as the 4 meal presentations that are part of your experience at the Laurel. So we offer breakfast, light lunch, afternoon snack, and dessert. You can also have a la carte dining in addition to that there. But then we have a teaching tasting restaurant that we're going to come to fairly soon in the presentation to talk about. The guest rooms are very opulent. We have luxury king rooms and suites. They're all beset with Bulgari amenities, fresh floral from the rooftop, cut every day. All the technology you can imagine, and beautiful bar service. The bath areas are luxurious, lots of room to soak and relax. I know last time Natalie was here, she was actually working at that little laptop station. She told me, I wasn't there, I didn't see it, but that's what she said at least. But it's a beautiful, beautiful hotel. This is actually a picture that Natalie snapped when she was with us. We had one of our rooftop activations on our Gather Grill. And so we actually harvest on that 5,000 square foot garden. We harvest things that the Auburn University horticulture students grow. And then those are used in our restaurants and also in our bars and ingredients, and then in the guest rooms and floral. So really a cool holistic experience when you come to see us in Auburn, Alabama. This is Chef Joel Antunes. He is our chef in residence at 1856. This is a teaching tasting restaurant. To our knowledge, the only one in the world. We also have a master sommelier on staff. In that room, she was talking about teas. We also have a tea service on Sundays, and it has taken off. We had Swifty teas in October. We had Harry Potter teas in November, and now we're in our traditional Christmas tea service. And as soon as we announce those, they are sold out. So it's an amazing experience and a beautiful, beautiful dining room. There's lots of extra space, and that's because the students are along for the ride. So they're there to learn from our professional serving staff and our master sommelier, as well as the culinary team in the kitchen. There's a private dining room that opens both to the kitchen and the wine room, and it's just an amazing place for small groups and gatherings. Right next to this property, we have a green space and then a beautiful food hall that is part of the Auburn University dining program. But all the concepts in here are chef driven. So there's 9 different concepts, from Malaysian street noodles to poke, street tacos, and gelato. And you can even do a podcast in here if you'd like. But just a really cool experience. If you come to this corner in Auburn, Alabama of Thatching College and you leave hungry, it's your own fault. Thrive Farmers is our on-site coffee roaster. We create all the coffee that's roasted for our entire complex. Both of our hotels here, the food hall, the banquet operation, it's all done at Thrive. We have our own roaster, and that is actually also part of the learning experience for the students. They learn coffee shop operation. It's a hands-on process, and right now we have our whole beans and lots of goodies for sale for the holiday season. There's a microbrewery as well, and that is run by New Realm Brewery out of Georgia. And I think they have just implemented a new gingerbread porter, and it has come onto the scene with the display of our gingerbread village within the Tony and Liberaine Culinary Science Center, the largest gingerbread display in the region, and on Southeast Tourism's 20 Things to See during the Christmas times when you come to the South. Here's a little look into our spa. Beautiful spa, co-ed relaxation room. There's steam saunas in both men's and women's locker areas. And we are so excited. We are shutting down the very first week of January because we're making sure that our Himalayan salt room installation is complete. So we will be offering Himalayan salt treatment as well. It's just a beautiful respite, from the active time of touring campus or studying or just from eating too much. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Todd. Really special place. All right. Next, we have Luana from Casa de Langa, and she's going to be joining us.
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Hi, Luana.
Hello. Thank you very much for the beautiful introduction and also to the previous presentation. I'm glad that I already had dinner tonight, so I'm not getting hungry. And so I'm here to present Casa di Langa. It's brand new, quite a new property in Piemonte, Italy. It was funded in 2021, and we have a beautiful 40-hectare property. So not only the hotel, but we also have a few vineyards, 2 forests, and miles of beautiful trekking trails for our guests to explore. A little bit more about the geography, because Piemonte is not such a popular destination of Italy yet, but it's an up-and-coming foodie destination. We are located in the northwest of Italy. Our hotel is 2 hours away from Milano Malpensa Airport and 1 hour from Turin, which is the main city of Piemonte. Langa territory was shaped by 3 main types of culture: vineyards, the woods for truffle, and finally hazelnuts. So as you can imagine, it's a very nice and gourmet destination. We have more than 15 Michelin star restaurants in the area, and the main town of Langa is Alba, which is where every year the White Truffle Fair takes place. Our property develops along the hill, and it has 39 rooms divided on 7 floors. We have, of course, a restaurant on site, and every room has its own outdoor space. So what we really want our guests to experience is, the slow pace of this area, the beautiful territory that we have in front. This is a view of what you can see from our, some of our rooms and all our common area of the hotel. And we really are in the very center of the Langa territory, which has a lot to offer in terms of gastronomic experience. The hotel is open almost the whole year round. We only close in February and March, so a very short period, but we will be open, for example, for winter. And also in winter, it's a very nice period because this is a little spoiler for you. White truffle gets better with the cold weather. So the fair is usually in October and November, but white truffle is available the whole season up until the end of January, and it gets even better. The design of the hotel is very modern. We took a lot of care in the project itself, and you can see that we have a mix of modern design, but also very warm and cozy pieces. In every room, there is an art piece because our owner is also an art collector. So we do have a lot of international and contemporary work of art, both from Italy and abroad. And this, for example, is our suite. The space of the room ranges from 350 square meters up to 700 more or less. And for those who maybe are interested in booking for a family, we have either the option to open the sofa bed in a suite or some interconnected rooms. We do have a little spa in our hotel, and we offer a 50-minute private entrance to the spa for each booking in order for our guests to really enjoy their privacy and relaxation. And in our spa, we serve herbal infusion and flavor water with the products that we cultivate in our own vegetable garden and orchard. In our swimming pool, we also have a little cafeteria, and it is open from May to October because it is heated, so we manage to enlarge a little bit the season. And if our guests want to spend a whole day by the pool, they can easily order from our cafeteria some snacks like light sandwiches, salads, but also our pizza, and maybe with some, signature cocktail also made with our herbs that we cultivate. Our restaurant on site is where we keep the most important works of art, firstly, but also where we offer our signature cuisine that is more vegetarian, like it's more on the vegetarian side. It's not really usual for the area because Piemontese cuisine is instead very rich in meat and dairy products. We are a sustainable property, and we want to make the most important use of what we cultivate on site. So our signature menu changes, I wouldn't say seasonally, but also monthly, depending on what we grow. But then, of course, we also have the whole delicious Piemontese cuisine, so more traditional types. And in this season, we also have a white truffle menu. Finally, regarding the experiences that we serve, they are also very well connected to the history of the territory and what the most beautiful food things it has to offer. So the territory of Piemonte is a very important wine region of Italy, and it's where Barolo and Barbaresco wine are made. So very rich, red, intense wine made with Nebbiolo grapes. And our sommelier takes amazing wine experiences. We call our wine cellar a wine academy because not only you get to taste the wine, but you also learn a lot about the territory and the history of amazing winemakers in the area. On property, as I told you earlier, we do have 2 forests, which happen to be very good truffle grounds. So we can offer truffle hunting experiences that start directly from our reception desk. Our guests can walk down 20 minutes down the hill with our experts, of course, and their dogs, and then start the truffle hunting. Finally, we do also offer a couple of cooking classes that take place directly in our kitchen. So they will be open for 2, maximum 3 people at a time. One is pasta making class, and the other one is more about the Piemontese cuisine. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Lana.
Amazing.
right.
Thank you, Lana. Well, hi, everyone. It's Natalie Payne. I'm joining you from the Charleston International Airport lounge. I'm about to board a flight, so I'm going to make this brief. Our general manager from the property, Kim, was not able to join us, but says hello to everyone. So I'm not sure if anyone's been to Harbor Island. I've been there multiple times, and most recently after ILTM North America, which was fantastic. So this is a really convenient Caribbean location because from Miami and Fort Lauderdale, it's only 45 minutes down to Eleuthera. So you fly into North Eleuthera, ELH, and then you're going to take a water taxi over to Harbor Island. On the next slide, you'll see there massive international airport. It's tiny, so it takes just a few minutes to go through customs. And then on the next couple of slides, you can just kind of flow through, Lindsay. You know, it's so special because Harbor Island is 3 miles long and a half-mile wide. I always like to say it is the antithesis of Baja Mar and Atlantis. This is really elegant, laid-back luxury. Think kind of Jimmy Buffett, you know, bazillionaires that are just wanting to relax and find a secluded spot. So here in this picture, you'll see our bellman can greet, if you'll go back just one, sorry, our bellman can greet your guest at the airport, and it's about $150. But if it's their first day, I definitely would suggest that you do this service. So they'll greet you at the airport right after baggage claim, get you onto approved taxis. It's about a 3-minute ride down to the water taxi, and then you could take the public water taxi, which is $5. And I love to be with the locals and kind of, you know, see all of that color and liveliness. But if you want a private water taxi, we can certainly arrange that as well. And it's about $75. We can greet them with pink champagne, just whatever, you know, the level of your client is. And then once you arrive, you have to rent a golf cart. And we now work with Conch and Coconut. They are the premier DMC companies on Harbor Island, and they have these awesome pink golf carts with Bluetooth speakers. And it's just a fun way to get around, or we have complimentary pink bikes as well. Next, you'll see that this is the entrance. You know, Pink Sands opened in 1951, so there's a lot of history. And in the next slide, we have these wonderful pictures and memories of this couple actually honeymooned at Pink Sands, and then they recently came back for their 50th wedding anniversary. So there's a lot of those types of stories. People have been coming, yeah, pink. Yeah, I know, I love the pink too. Coming, you know, to Pink Sands for years. So you're greeted with those beautiful Bahamian smiles and with pink champagne when you check in. We're unique on the island in that we're not a hotel product. We have 32 privately owned and hotel owned villas, but they're all decorated the same. They're 1 to 4 bedrooms. We have the most villas on the island that have their own private pools, as well as the most oceanfront villas with their own private walkways down to that stunning pink sand beach. Just to give you an idea of the room product, so they're either completely refreshed or completely brand new. This was actually my villa when I stayed last time, own private pool. So you're out all day snorkeling, scuba diving, doing all the things, and then you come back to your own pool at night. This is the Blue Bar. So speaking of Culinary, they have 2 fantastic restaurants. We have a new chef, Chef David, a new sushi bar, some of the best sushi that I've ever eaten, and I eat sushi multiple times a week. But just to the left of the Blue Bar, they have opened this oceanfront pool. So now we have the closest oceanfront pool to that pink sand beach on the island, and there's full food and beverage service there. There's cabanas. This is the best place to have breakfast or lunch or a sunset cocktail for sure. And then as we move through, you'll see this is Kay. She's a recent addition to the team. She's actually from Thailand and gives the best Thai massage I've ever had, as well as traditional massage. But wellness is a big deal here. We actually have a wellness weekend coming up in January. You can learn all about it on the Pink Sands website. This past year, we had 2 celebrity chef weekends, and then we're planning to have 2, if not 3, this coming year as well. This is Malcolm 51, which is our fine dining restaurant. We do have our own farm on property, so we grow a lot of the herbs and vegetables, and a lot of the fish, of course, is very local. The conch in the Bahamas is one of the, you know, delicacies, if you will, but it's a very British colonial kind of home family feel. Playing pool with guests, here in the library, grabbing a book, and then just, you know, some of that cuisine. The most delicious coconut French toast and banana pancakes I've ever had too. So really, really great cuisine here. And then just on the island, there's so much to do. Again, Conch and Coconut has the best boats, the best guides. They are very family friendly. I do, you know, it is a very romantic place. We actually have a wedding today. That's why Kim couldn't jump on the call. But you can swim with the turtles. You can swim with the pigs. You can snorkel, scuba dive. They'll take you to the starfish. There's so many Instagrammable photo opportunities. And the island itself, like you're really among the locals. It's very safe to go off of the property and just tour around on your golf carts. There's 3 marinas with these massive yachts. You're like, are you on below deck? You can just walk around looking at all the cool yachts. These pictures are of Eleuthera. So if you wanted to take the day and go over to Eleuthera, this is the glass bridge where the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean meet. It's so cool to stand on that bridge and see the waves crashing from each ocean. There's a lot of history on Eleuthera from the first settlers that came over from, England and Spain, and a lot of the shipwrecks. So there's neat tours as far as that. There's a cenote called the Blue Hole that you can cliff dive into, like 45 feet. I did not, but some of my advisors did on our most recent fam. So just a lot to do at Pink Sands. And again, it is very family friendly. We don't have like a traditional kids club, but there's a lot of activities that you can do as a family there. We have complimentary paddleboarding, kayaks, all of that is beach toys, boogie boards on the beach. And then this is their little meeting space, or we sometimes use it for private dining for families. And of course, weddings are just stunning. So please keep Pink Sands in mind. We'll definitely keep you updated on their upcoming culinary and wellness weekends. And I'm going to hop off because I have to go board, but we just so appreciate your partnership. And thank you, Lindsay, for holding the fort down today, and to all of our presenters. So thanks, guys.
No, no problem. Hey, Natalie, before you go, maybe you
Yeah.
can answer this one question that we have. Only one question from Dana, and she says, does Calliope and these all these properties accept True Code as a proof of agency?
I think we had that question Tuesday too, and I know we have ARC and IATA, and as long as you have, we'll talk about it. If they could just email us that question.
Yeah, okay.
But typically ARC and IATA are what we would recognize
Usually
for,
accept. Yeah,
for
might be
commission.
by property too.
Yeah.
Specific. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. Great. Well, I didn't see any other questions that came through the chat bar here. Let me just see if we have another ones that came through the chat. Okay, we got, is Casa de Langa open year round? I believe, Luana, you already answered that one. Okay.
Yes, in particular, if I may add, and this year we'll be closing on the 26th of January and reopen on the 28th of March, right after Duco, Italy. If anyone is attending and would like to hop on to our place for a post-Duco fun trip, I'm here to see our availability and welcome you.
Fabulous. It's a great idea. And then we did have a question from Nancy about what accommodation do you recommend for a couple in their 60s for Pink Sands? So Nancy, we'll go ahead and follow up with you directly regarding your question. All right. Great. Well, just a few more items to mention before we close out for the day. The website for the Calliope Collective has been live last couple months, and we're continuing to make enhancements to that. So it really is one of the best resources to be able to learn more about our collection and what additions are taking place, as well as we continue to grow. So be sure to check back on that frequently. We're actually going to be posting up all of the new webinars for 2025 within the next couple of weeks with some really great topics. And some new properties to feature as well. And then also too, just make sure to stay connected with us on the social where we share lots of updates if you haven't already. So thank you, everyone. We appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule, especially as we all try to wrap up the year before the holiday time. And we hope to see you on a future webinar as well. Thank you to the participants also.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.